The one place he's not
Looks
represented.
like, yes. It's 5:30 and I would have please join us in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Anybody have anything they would like to remove from the consideration?
I do not.
Okay, moving on to public comments. Probably don't see anything out there. We do have a special activity of a public hearing scheduled with resolution 5508, a resolution to approve, modify, deny the zone change request for 1555 East State Route 73, parcel number as written, zone and change request from non-residential plan unit development NRPUD to neighborhood business B1 and dispense with second reading. Jeffrey?
All right.
Did you want to?
We need to recess the public meeting. Yeah. Yes, we better. Is there a motion to recess the regular meeting and convene the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Museball?
Yay.
Mr. Wade? Yay. All right, so State Route 48, State Route 73, this is our subject property. And the site is 1555 East State Route 73. We look at the aerial. So we have several different businesses within the area. In 1973, the property was zoned R1. In 1978, it went to B1. In 2004, it went to a B1 planning development with a warehouse. That use never proceeded to stage 2 or stage 3. In 2020, it went from the B1 PUD to the NRPUD to allow a brew pub in addition to the warehouse. The request this evening is to take away all of the PUDs, go back to a straight B1 because they never advanced to their final form. That way it'd be consistent with properties we've seen. So we look at those properties for zoning. To the north we have general business and general business planning and development. To the east we have neighborhood business planning and development. To the south we have the cemetery, it's residential R1, and to the east we have business B1. So we're looking at different land use maps. This is sanitary sewer. It's outside the sanitary sewer area. It's on a primary arterial. It's in plain area 2, which at the time was 75% already developed or under consideration. And then we get through the land use plan, which is very small, but we're in the red area. So it's actually within the area which was in 2005 part of our space. If I can get it to come up. There you never see the circle. So it's in our commercial note. This was for Warren County Regional Planning. They recommended approval. So for the zoning commission, they also recommended approval. And the rationale was based upon the Clearcreek Township Master Land Use Plan, anticipated the area to be commercial and remove the PU designation would allow that to still occur. So with that, I can answer questions of the board. That's pretty straightforward.
Yes.
That'd be the easiest one we've ever had.
But I didn't want to knock on wood and jeopardize it. But yes, sir.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Bowman?
The applicant is present.
Okay. You have anything you'd like to add to the situation? Please.
No, I don't have anything.
Okay, all right. Appreciate that, thank you. Any further comments or questions? Okay, is there a motion to end the public hearing and reopen our regular meeting?
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Museball?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. And is there any other questions before we move on resolution 5508? Is there a motion to approve, modify, or deny 5508?
I move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Museball?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. There we go.
Thanks.
Thank you. That's pretty easy.
Yes.
You're more than welcome to
Easy for
stay,
us.
but if you'd like to have dinner, you can head out.
All right, thanks you guys. Thanks you guys.
Yeah, you're welcome. Bye now.
Bless you.
Okay, moving on to anything else under special activities and other ones? Fiscal business, Russell?
Yes, sir. The one thing I wanted to bring before the board is that every year I do the streetlight assessments, and I was going to let you know that the money that we are charging in September is for the 2023 fiscal year. And so the difference between 2022 and 2023 was between 5 and 7% more than what it was in 22. 23 was either 5 or 7.5%, depending on whether it was Miami Valley Lighting or Duke. And it looks like we're approaching those numbers again from in 2024. There's another part of it. We passed a resolution that allowed us to have 1% added to the bill to help offset those costs that were escalating. It's not going to be enough. So one of the things that I've come up with is the possibility, we do the quarterly interest transfers, and what I would propose to the board is that we add the streetlight assessment fund to that quarterly interest, because typically any interest that we earn on that goes back into the general fund. So if we use that money to help go back into that fund, which is what generated it to begin with, then it will help offset the costs for trying to keep ahead of this bill, because we're literally almost 2 years behind in how it works. So that's something that if you have any questions, please let me know on it, and if you don't, then at some point probably we'll modify that resolution to add the streetlight assessments to the quarterly interest transfer.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is that in lieu of raising the assessment?
Yes, I don't want to, the township fee, I don't want to raise it up anymore, but, you know, it's at 1%, but I don't want to raise it up, so.
This is for the streetlight district, of which the individuals that on the property that have streetlights, and that district divide that up and pay that whatever their fair share is.
Right.
So what you're suggesting is that they no longer continue to pay, they're still paying what they're paying now, but we're going to subsidize them for any additional amount?
Well, it's not really we're not taking money from the general fund directly. What we're doing is money that would when we do the interest, it normally goes, all funds except for 3 of them. There's the general fund, the gasoline tax, the permissive motor vehicle tax, and the motor vehicle tax. Those are all forced to get interest every single month. But then every quarter, we wrote a board, there's a resolution that says that we'll give money to the fire department, police department, EMS fund, and the roads department.
Okay.
And so anything other than that gets shoved into the general fund as well. So what this would do is that instead of taking that money and leaving it into the general fund, it will go into the streetlight fund, which is where those people are paying for it anyway. So they, we're using the same logic that we used for fire. It's their money, we're making interest off of it, should go to them. So instead of raising the rates more than the 1% that we have, this would enable us to help offset those escalating costs. And not only that, but we also have, if we add a new streetlight district, because we're only allowed to bill once a year, it can be substantial when we add a new fire or a new streetlight district too. So.
Okay, but then aren't we in effect asking people that don't have streetlights to participate in paying for streetlights if people that do have them?
No. All this is that we're taking the money that was in the fund already, and what I did also is I asked the county to start giving us advances on those at the start of the year, so I can earn some interest on those advances as we go. So in essence, the money that they're paying, we're allowing them to earn interest on that and keep it inside of that fund instead of shoving it back into the general fund. So we're not taking any money. I mean, I guess in a way you can say we're taking money from the general fund, but know, it's either we give them money and advance it to it, or we give them this interest that they have in the fund back into it so that we can offset some of those rising costs.
The funds exist because individual property owners in lighting districts were assessed. So it's really just going
their
back to
money
where it
that's
came
coming
from.
That's right, the only ones that are putting money in is individual.
Yeah, so if it's $100,000 and they earns 5%, $5,000 that goes now to the general fund, goes back into the lighting fund.
Correct.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
No, that's more fair.
Yeah, no, it is,
It's a way, I think, it's fairer than asking us to loan the money from the general fund into those things. So if that's okay with you guys, we'll bring that forward at some point.
it makes sense.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah. Okay, that's it, sir. Thank you very
All right,
much.
well, that's enough. Okay, moving on to new business. Resolution 5509, resolution authorizing the sale of fire apparatus to the city of Pickla, dispense with the second reading, declare an emergency. So, sell the firehouse, that's all that.
So the last
Sounds
one-
like a pretty good number to me,
It's,
get the money.
I would say that it's definitely fair market value for that piece of apparatus. It's 23 years old, so, and it's due for a lot of maintenance.
Yeah.
And they know it doesn't come with a warranty, right?
For them, yeah, as is. And for them, actually, it's a great deal for them, because we're actually gonna be helping them out a lot too, so, for them, it's probably even a better deal for them than it is for us, so.
Very good. Okay, is there a motion to sell this piece of equipment to the city of Pickla under resolution 5509?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Petersball?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. We have a resolution to accept the donation of $100 gifted by Jerry and Shirley Heidi. The motion to accept this gift, and that obviously is to the fire district.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Petersball?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. Anything else from fire district tonight?
No, just the general.
Thank you, sir. Planning and zoning, we have resolution 5510, resolution determining the maintenance of specific land at 355 Marion Drive, constitutes a nuisance, supporting the removal of debris and removal of junk vehicles after sufficient measures, dispense with the second reading.
Yeah, we did this last fall and did a clean up the property, to bring vehicles back. So it's my desire to get back before you, so that we have the ability to ask them to remove their items again.
Get started early.
Correct.
That makes sense to me. Encourage them to not do it next year.
Yeah, I thought that last fall was probably the best encouragement, but it seems like we have to do it again. So sometimes that occurs. So this will put them back on notice that this is how we're doing business.
I did receive, I think we probably all did, if you saw your email from the lady that lives next door.
Yeah.
I don't blame her.
Yeah, she's not amused.
Yeah, well, I mean,
She's not amused.
they're playing, so we're playing back.
They are. Anybody have any questions about resolution 5510? Is there a motion to?
Our law director saw the photos for
No, I didn't. Color 55.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Petersball?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
In 3511, the resolution determining the maintenance of vegetation specific tract of land at 1244 Center Spring Avenue constitutes a nuisance.
Yeah, so we have a lot of calls for high grass. This is the only one that had not yet abated their vegetation, so.
Is this a vacant property?
According to the neighbors, it is. We dealt with it a couple years ago, and the son of the family was residing in there while I was going to college. And at that point in time, the discussion was, you can stay here while we're gone, but you need to maintain the place. And he was like, hey, I can do whatever I want. So we did some education, and I'm not sure what's going on at this point. I've not had actual contact with the property owner. Left notice, but no one's responded.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion to approve 5511?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Petersball?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. Anything else under zoning, Jeff?
Not Stevenson.
Okay, under administration, we have 5512, a resolution authorizing the township administrator to incur administrative $10,000 on behalf of the township.
So this is a newer procedure for the expenditure that exceeds my spending authority comes before the board to incur the obligation with the board blessing the resolution. So we have two on this resolution. One is for the placement of mattress and box springs project. Fire department's been working on for quite some time, replacing all the mattresses and boxes at all three stations. And the second item is the 2024 striping project from the area of Markham County. Proposed to do 5.6 miles of roadways, high reflective paint for a total of just shy of $25,000. Both expenditures exceed my authority and are brought before the board.
Okay. The motion to approve 5512.
So moved.
Second. Mr. Gabbard.
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw. Yay. Mr. Ritter.
And we have a recommendation to make a conditional offer of probationary employment to Randy Milburn to fill the human resources manager position at a $75,000 annual salary effective May 13th, depending on acceptable post-offer pre-employment testing, screening, and background check.
Yeah, we're glad to report to the board that we found a terrific candidate to fill the HR manager job that created vacated for Florida. And, the panel's pretty excited that we had several interviews with she and another candidate who distinguished themselves as finalists. And we were pretty excited about either one. They were both very, very good. And Randy currently is the office manager for the veterinary hospital, Township on Road. That's her most recent position, but she's held up positions as well. She originates from Wilmington. She seems pretty excited about an opportunity to join us and help us continue the great work that we started.
Very good. Very good. Well, hoping that she gets through all of the other pre-qualifying.
Oh, she will. She will, and she's got Mindy to help tutor her for the remainder of this year since we've got Mindy on the road. So pretty confident Randy should be a great fit. She should learn quickly.
Good to hear. Anybody have any questions on Matt about Randy Milburn? Is there a motion to direct Matt to offer probationary employment at $75,000 annual salary?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw. Yay. Mr. Gabbard.
Yay.
Mr. Ritter.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Glad you were persistent and found somebody.
We don't have a choice. Gotta find somebody. It's a lot of work.
Anything else at this time, Matt?
No, not for me.
Moving on to the road department, we have resolution 5513, a resolution authorizing township administrator to execute a contract with Strasser Construction Incorporated for the 2024 cap seal, micro seal road treatment. This is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, so I worked pretty hard on this. I was trying to come up with a way to cover more roads than just paving. Strasser and I have been back and forth with a lot of emails, and it come down to I'm able to cape seal all of North Stone Ridge this year, and then micro seal the old north section of Winning Creek. So the micro seal, we have never talked about that. That is just the slurry from the cape seal that they'll put on roads with curves. So you go in and you crack seal them, and then you'll put the micro seal on to seal the entire road up. It adds another wear layer, trying to preserve those
How
roads.
much time do you think that will give us on that?
They say that cape seal is good for, or micro is good for 5 to 7, and a cape is 10 to 12. So your average paving is 12 to 14 nowadays, or less. You know, a lot of the roads that we've paved the last couple of years have cracked within a year. So this year we went to milling 2-inch mill and an 1 3/4 paved back. So I'm hoping that helps with the paving. Going forward too, on the bigger subdivisions, I'm gonna pave the main thoroughfares through them and cape seal everything off, cause it's a lot cheaper. And the time that the cape almost lasts as long as the pave nowadays.
So do you have an estimate of what this project with Strasser Construction is going to be?
$496,000. That gives us 4.8 miles that we're gonna cape seal and micro, and then with the paving we did, we're covering 7.5 miles. Most we've ever covered.
Good. Good, well, I'm glad we're giving that stuff a try.
You said to stretch the light down a little bit.
Yep, absolutely. Is there a motion to approve 5513?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. Anything else from road department?
We're working on building a salt bin pad if it would quit raining. Had the equipment for 2 weeks and only used it 3 days. So, hopefully it dries up a little bit.
Not looking very good.
It does not look very good.
No, that's.
I'll put a word in.
Yeah.
Put a word in for me?
Absolutely.
I appreciate
I
that.
don't think the devil's got anything to do with it, right?
You know how the lawyers.
It's a little high.
That's true.
Yeah, how much does that cost us?
We'll just pay for it.
We'll call it. Well said, yeah, right.
Yeah.
John's got it.
Oh, that's fun.
Okay, moving on to the police department, we have a recommendation to accept a donation of $150 from Jim and Sally Huff for the benefit of safety down. So is there a motion to approve this donation?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw? Yay. Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Yay. Anything else, Chief?
He was very happy with the vacation check program.
Yes, it's a very robust program for us. I can't tell you the phone calls we get out of that.
Yeah.
We got a lot of snowbirds that go, and, you know, we issue them a report showing them every time and every day that we check their house. And
That's what he was, he got that in the mail.
The response back, and then Savannah prints that at the end. I have a cover letter that I sign personally to each person, and usually write a few notes if I know them or whatever. And the phone calls that I get back on that program is just immense. So it's a pretty good PR tool. Plus, it keeps us
Great.
worried about burglaries, hopefully. So it's a two-way street. So.
That's a wonderful program. Okay. Is there a motion to, anything else on the police department?
No.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wade?
Staff updates.
AZ Asphalt has paid the extra 10 feet on the pickleball courts in recent weeks, and we're waiting for it to cure, so the sealing and striping can happen on top of it. So the plan is to use an extra layer of the sealer to try to conceal any irregularities in the pavement, in hopes that it'll work out fine. So Ryan has got prepped the whole area, compacted it, and he saved us a ton of money by doing it ourselves. So thank you guys for doing that. Those guys have been incredibly busy the last couple of weeks in the thrashing. And I'm also working on the reimbursement from the DNR. $100,000, about 126 that we already spent. We should get nearly 90 of that, because you can get 90% of the entire reimbursement. But there's a lot of, let's be diplomatic and call it preparatory work to be able to file for the reimbursement. Okay. And today I met with a woman named Michelle Pesca, whose name should probably be very familiar to you, and she just wanted to introduce herself as the Republican candidate for the state representative position. She's a Clearcreek Township resident, lived in Soraya Farms. Prior to that, she lived in North Stonebridge, so she was a resident, and she just talked through wanted to get to know about us a little bit and wanted us to know a little bit about her. So it was a nice chat.
Good. Hey, anybody have any questions for Matt or any of the department heads? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Hey, Mr. Gabbard.
Yeah.
Mr. Wade?